to Try Again Dev, where we practice that, yeah, we're not born knowing how to do stuff with code, especially. So we're gonna try again until we get our code running. Today we're looking at different sorting algorithms. So as always, if you are joining us in the chat, feel free to post and I will respond. But otherwise, here we are with NeetCode, and we're gonna try to write some sorting algorithms. Okay, so first off, let's make this so that we can see it past the chat. So, like, I was looking at this insertion sort question. I think my biggest question with this question is like what they want returned. They seem to want intermediaries. Okay, so let's go through the question and everything. The way we always do. So, implement insertion sort. It's quote unquote simple, sure. Sorting algo, anyway, that builds on the sorted list of one element at a time from left to right. Okay, let's make this brush a bit thicker here so we can see it a bit better. Sure. Okay, so yeah, we go from left to right. Okay, so I guess if we have, and we're given a list of key value pairs, sort the list by key, so the values don't matter, great. Return a list of lists showing the state of the array after each insertion. If two key val pairs have the same key, maintain their relative order. Okay, great. So yeah, I guess if our keys are like 1, 2, 3, but they would be out of order. So let's say we are given the keys in the order 3, 2, 1. We would start by looking at the first two items. If this value is less than this value, we would move it forward, and then we would shift our area of focus to the next two items. At this point, I guess we would put the first list in there in our like answer, ANS array. So like this is something we're gonna need to do. We're gonna push it, start. Then like we would have these values as like 2, 3, 1, and this is just the keys. And then now we're gonna be, yeah, looking at these two values. We'll have to move this here. I'm wondering if we move it over by 1, like bubble sort, or if we just put it in the right place. Yeah, inserting it into the correct position, okay. So, yeah, I guess if we look at these two, then we would look at this key, compare this, until it's finding itself in the right place. So like, would we move it here? By looking at these two, we would move it further, because we just continue to look at the item and the items before until it's like less than the item before and not less than or equal to, because like, for example, if this were another 2, we'd want to put it behind this 3, or excuse me, behind the first 2, because they said if two key value pairs have the same key, maintain their relative order, and it isn't something like we're putting it into like a hash map or something like that. So we just want it to be strictly less than the key before it to move it forward. If it's less than or equal to, or if it's equal to the key before, it'll stay in the same place. So with that, now we would return 1, 2, 3 here. And then what is it that they want about the output? So return a list of lists showing the state after each insertion, okay. If two key val pairs have the same key, maintain their relative order in the sorted list, okay. So yeah, like the fact that they want us to return stuff, it means there's probably gonna be like or add to stuff as we're going. It means in my brain that we're probably gonna have some kind of while loop. While? And perhaps like inside a for loop. So like this while loop could be the checker, and like the for loop can just be like going all the way through the array, like making sure we get from the beginning to the end. We have our answer array in terms of data, in terms of data structures. Note the output shows the state of the array after each insertion. The last state is the final sorted array. There should be pairs.length states in total. Okay. So I guess even if item is in the right place, it wants us to check all of the items and put them, like return them either way. So like if we had it in the order that we were given at the beginning, 1, 2, 3, they'd want us to put this in there 3 times. So like that's telling me that we want to do that posting in the for loop, like at the end of it, like an after the while loop. So that way at the end of every iteration we find, or we can keep track of where we are, what we want, etc. The other thing to note is like the data shape, which is like, I'm trying to figure out if these are, okay, so pairs is an array. We return, okay, so each one of these 3 like groups is in an array. Okay. But we are given 1 array to start with. Got it. Alrighty. So let's try our best to code this up. Yeah, and it looks like audio and everything should be working, so yeah, let's go. So we first said we need an answer array. And then we, at the end, want to return this answer array. So I like to just set it up so that it's like we don't forget our inputs, outputs. Also, let's take a look here. So according to AlgoJS, the data structure that we're returning doesn't count towards our time and space complexity, and since we're pushing the items in at the end of each insertion sort, yeah, like just since we're returning that, like, okay, one part of my mind is telling me that the size of this data structure that we're returning is going to grow based on however many inputs we get. However, since that's what we're actually returning, that size doesn't like count towards our size complexity. What does is going to be like the memory of the computer, or if we're storing an intermediary that's not being returned. So our, like the main focus I would say instead is going to be our time complexity. Let's see. I mean, most sorting algorithms are n log n. Like, what is the worst case we have here? I guess that would be a fully reversed array. So like, how many comparisons would we have to do for one item? We would just return the item. Actually, I should probably put that in as a base case. If pairs dot length one, and then parentheses, return so it wants to be in another array. So like it'd be answer dot push pairs. Answer. Great. I'm like thinking about making it recursive, but like we'll see. But anyway, like let's look at our time complexity. So let's say we had a fully reversed array like this. How many comparisons do we do? Here we do 1 comparison. Here we do 2 comparison. I guess it'd be like 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. 2 plus 3 plus 4, dot, 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 which I believe comes out to like n over 2, but let's see. Let's see if we just did plus 5 here. So it'd be, I guess plus 6, just for easy math. 7 times 3 is 21. I'm like, I think an arithmetic sequence comes out to like n over 2. But like, for some reason, I cannot remember right now. Let's look it up. Wow. Let's see. This thing. This is saying math I like fully don't even get, really. I mean, a plus b over 2, I guess, but... Alright. I think we're best served just looking up the insertion sort space complexity, because I'm not trying to confuse myself or whoever might be tuned in. Okay, so yeah, I guess each step is... Okay, O of n squared. Okay, I was wrong. I'm happy to admit that. Yeah, because each item in the worst case would have to like touch every single item before and go forward in that manner. So sure, I'm happy to be wrong on that, but I'm glad to learn it here in practice. So like there's gonna be O of n squared time and yeah, O of 1 space, because it doesn't need auxiliary or extra space according to Geeks for Geeks. Thanks for Geeks for Geeks. Always coming in clutch. Okay, so we've looked at our time complexity, which is O of n squared. We've looked at our space complexity, which is O of 1. We've looked at our approach here, so let's try to code up our approach. So we have our answer array. I mean, I guess we could run it through another function, but like I don't think we have to. So let's just not, because give ourselves, like, why make our life harder than it has to be? So let's see if we just wanted to go straight through it. So we have some amount of pairs. So for let I equals, if we want to compare the, okay, so sorry, I'm just going back here, because if we get 0 items, we also want to return that empty array back. So if this pairs.length is less than or equal to 1, then we should do this, because otherwise we could do like like the first thing in the array compared to the 0th thing in the array. Yeah, because we did mention like doing this and like focusing on that second number, so that that's the one we'd be moving forward theoretically. So we can start with I equals 1. I is less than pairs dot length. I'm gonna revisit that in a second, and I increments on each loop. Okay, so let's see. This is item 0, this is item 1, this is item 2. Pairs dot length is going to be 3. Length. Sorry about the font here, guys, or gals, or entities, or whoever's listening. But if I starts at 1, like I, then we could do I minus 1. Usually we would do the function such that we're going all the way up to the last item, and since we are looking at I minus 1, we can take I all the way up to the last item. Yeah, great. Yeah, so the pairs dot length minus 1 is cool. And then here, I'm just gonna like console log the item so that I know it's working. Great, let's take a look. I love an intermediary console log, so yeah, we're gonna start, right, looking at the second item and then looking at the later item. Great, okay. So the other thing is that we want to put the pairs array in as the first item. So instead of even pushing it in here, we can just make it so that like we put it in at the beginning, and then if the leg is 1, then we can just return that right off the bat without doing anything further. Okay, simplify ourselves a little bit to make it easier for coming back to troubleshoot. So great. Right, so like now we have, like, we should at least have the starting array in what we're returning. Cool, okay, awesome. Yeah, that's looking good. Cool, all right. That's step 0 or 1 or whatever you want to call it. So, okay. So the next thing I want to do is like, we want to okay, I'm again in two minds always. So like the first thing I'm thinking about is like sometimes in these problems we see 4 and then like const AB, A, B in like I pairs I. Yeah. Um and that would iterate through things or set it so that we could like, you know, deal with these things or whatever. But since these are just straight numbers, also, oh, wait a minute, this is not an array. I wonder if we could do like I0. Here's I0. Since I mean it's comma separated, but like, oh wait, sorry, I need to console log something for it to show up. Do do do. Haha, yeah, okay. Equals 3. So I wonder if we could do it like if these are dictionary objects, or if that 4 thing would have worked for A, B, up, I think, or in pairs I. Yeah, I think that's only for arrays. But they call it a key, which is interesting. Because, like, if it were a dictionary, I wonder if we could do like pairs I dot key. Let item or like number. And then let's console log and see if we get anything. Know if dot key is a thing we can do. Okay. CON-SOLE. Thank you for the spell check. Oh, okay, great. Yeah, we can treat it like a dictionary. Fantastic. All right. All right. So yeah, let's let current number. Oops, shoot, I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but like, let's do this, and then let. Ooh. Let's work through the process and let our brain catch up as we go. So like let previous number equal okay, wait a minute. If we're inserting stuff, I wonder if we'll need like a temp or something. Just sorry, spitballing thinking out loud here. Or even like if now is like a good time to start up that while loop. I think it might be. So let's see. So like while pairs I dot key is greater than pairs I minus one dot key. Oh wait, no, the dot key has to be outside of here. We could do the temp thing. Yeah. So then yeah, we could say like let temp equals pairs I let pairs I equal pairs I minus one. All right, no, this doesn't need a let because it's not like defining something. So we held this in this, we moved this one backwards, and now we can put the previous one into the other spot, so pairs I minus one equals 10. And then I think we should like do I minus minus, so like decrement I, so that way we're following around our item. Yeah. All right, I'm not sure if this is gonna work because, or wait, like and I equals one is the least. Yeah, so I guess I is greater than or equal to 1. Awesome. And then whenever we break out of this while loop, what we want to do is add our answer to this pairs array. So that is answer dot push pairs. Okay. Okay. Let's see what we get and where things break. Here we have spell check. It's funny, you know, when you like type something over and over and over, and then your brain is like, "How is pairs spelled?" Mm -hmm. I can't read the key. Oh wait. Said this was how we do it. Pairs I dot key is greater than. Pairs I minus one dot key. Okay, so let's do some console logs here. Then here we can even make this easier by using our variables. So things are named instead of just like numbered. Yeah. All right. Well, at least hopefully, since we didn't change anything, it should still not run, I'm guessing, but like now we can see stuff. Oh, hey. Okay. Did this work? No, wrong answers. That's fine. At least we are seeing stuff. So we're getting apple, banana, cherry. Okay. Cherry, apple, banana. That's weird, because we should just push it in first. Answer equals pairs array. Push does push on the back. Apple, banana, cherry. I'm expecting to see apple, banana, cherry in here somewhere. All right, let's see. Cherry, apple, banana, cherry, apple, banana, cherry, apple, banana, cherry, apple, banana, cherry, apple, banana. Fun. Okay, so it's saying we're doing the for loop 1, 2, or wait, what? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times for some reason. Which is interesting, no doubt. And also our while loop isn't actually doing anything. Okay. So, which is also weird because if they gave it to us in this order, why are we not just returning that? First off, like, let's see if this first one's working because it doesn't seem like it is. Oh. Oh, this is given as like the nodes or something. Okay, that's why like this dot value is working. Got it. Okay, okay, okay. So that's why that is working for sure. So then I'm also like, okay. For let item of pairs, we're gonna have to like push them into this array. Let iteration equals array. Iteration. Iteration. Do answer dot push. Yeah, like some kind of temp or something. So if we would like have a for loop that puts something into something else, I think we need like an internal for loop. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I just cut that so that we could paste it into here because actually like in like we're gonna have to do this in like 2 stages and like keep track of wherever we are and like what all is in there. So like here we can have like let's okay, not sure what's going on here, but yeah, I'm just gonna paste um let's see if we can get this working. So for each item, push each item into the array And then here, instead of answer.push pairs, it'll have to be answer.push iteration. Sorry, I'm just like trying to get the formatting to help me, as Kevin Hart would say. Got it. Alright, let's give ourselves some room here by seeing if we can minimize the console. Thank God. Okay. So yeah. Alright, so we're like, let's go through this thing. It's less than pairs dot length, blah blah. Alright. Let's actually come back to that whole return situation and figure out how we can get this bit working, because this is like the meat and potatoes. So like I'll do a to-do item here. To do get while loop working, and the other thing we have to do is return the intermediary steps. Oh, look at that. Nico's a better speller than I am. Intermediary. Except it doesn't tell you how to fix it, so... Oh, okay, sure. Alright, so... this we're gonna put in here. Okay, then now let's see, do we want to put the items into the pairs array at the beginning of each loop or at the end of each loop? If we put it in at the beginning once, then we can put it in at the end of each loop. So that means, yeah, we can do what was originally in the paste menu there and say for let item in pairs. And then for each item, we're going to put it in this array. Let iteration equal this empty array for let item in pairs, and then iteration dot iteration dot push item. And then at the end of that, we're going to say answer dot push iteration. Okay. And to do that, we need to set our answer array here. Great, okay. So now I want to check that that works, because I love a good functionality check. No! Oh, okay, fine. I guess... What in the heck? Okay, I guess pushing in pairs I does work. So... I wonder if it'd be like pairs item? Okay, great. So we put the items into here. Okay. So Like one thing I really want is put this into a function, like call this logger, and like that way I could just call logger at the end of every iteration. So function logger, and like we'd have to put something into it though. Yeah, and then we'll take in pairs object. Great. Okay, and then this is something I've been wondering, but like I was wondering why sometimes we have a function inside another function and sometimes we don't. And the best that like my own brain solved that for me was because like in this case we want access to this answer array, and if we put this outside of it somewhere, then we wouldn't be able to access this anymore. So like now we can, I think. So like let's see that we can. So like so this dot logger, then we pass in pairs. Hopefully we get the same output. Nope. No. Maybe no. My God, how many times am I gonna have misspelled stuff? 3 lines of code. It's like impossible. Okay, great. So that works. Putting in the first one, and then instead of this answer.push iteration thing, we can just do like logger pairs, as we've seen here, since we figured it out to get the first one there. Let's see. Yeah, so I'm at the point where I want to see these console logs again. Pairs. Okay, so yeah, this is the initial 529, 529, 952, 952, 952. So for some reason we're putting it in there twice. Not really sure what that's about, but we're gonna come back to it. So yeah, why is this happening twice? Console log, current number, previous number. So we're looking at 2 and 5. Current number is bigger than previous number. Current number is 2. Previous number is 5. So current number should be less than previous number. Oh, that explains why I keep giving back 952 so confidently. Okay. Apple, banana, cherry, great. Banana, apple, cherry, great. Banana, apple, cherry, banana, apple, cherry. Okay, how many times does this run? Jesus. Banana, apple, banana, cherry. Great. Banana, apple, cherry. Okay, banana, apple, cherry. Huh. So, how many times am I running this? We compared 2 and 5. We compared 5 and 2. Which I guess we don't need to do, huh? How would we skip the thing if we did move stuff around? It's like while current number is less than previous number and I isn't going past 0, temp equals pairs I. I'm like wondering, okay, let's look at the other test case and see what's going on. Cat, bird, dog. Cat, bird, dog, great. Cat, bird, dog. Okay. Dog, cat, bird, great. Dog, cat, bird, dog, cat, bird. 3, 3, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 3. That's definitely because of this. I'm like not sure that's necessary. Let's find out. Ah, darn it. Okay, I guess it is necessary. I'm thinking that like what's going on is like we're too far down decremented after we ran the while loop, so I'm like wondering if we could do an I++. Like I'm thinking about whether we should have a flag in here or something, or a flag out here that this hits if it runs, so that at the end we would increment I if we hit the while loop. Yeah, let's do that. So like we'll say like if this, then our boolean is true. So we can call it moving items equals like there's those really cute, elegant one-line functions. I guess it'd be like if this, then moving items equals like a question mark and a colon, I think. Equals true or false. I don't know, but that's Geeks for Geeks time. So like question function JavaScript. Nope. Or function. Okay. How the question mark function works. Thanks, FreeCodeCamp. Yeah, ternary operator. So something question mark true or false. Okay, so excuse me. So it'd be like this. Question mark. Moving items equals true, or moving items equals false. Oh, maybe just or false. So I really like this. That's funny. Maybe like this. Yeah. Okay. Great. So yeah, if we went through this, then we'll increment I. If moving items then we negate it, so it's false again. Moving, well, technically it doesn't matter, because when we reset the function, it'll reset itself. But if it's true, then we increment I. Alright, let's take that for a ride. No! Let's declare that variable here. Let's do those very sexy single line items there. Alright, at least we compiled stuff. That's lovely. Apple, banana, cherry, banana, apple, cherry, banana, apple, cherry. Awesome. Why are we doing it an extra time? I wonder if that is because we do it up here just to see. Banana, apple, cherry. Oh wait, apple, banana, cherry. Okay. So we're running the loop one too many times, but we need it to happen at the beginning here. I mean, I'm kind of tempted to just take off the last item. I wonder how we take something off the end of something. Let's check our handy dandy notes sheet. A notes sheet. Unless anyone in the chat wants to suggest anything. Nope. Okay, that's fine. All good. So yeah, let's look at our array implementation notes here. Slice, maybe? I'm not really sure. I mean, one thing we can do is like set it to the length -1. I guess. Splicing to add things, splicing to replace things, splicing to remove things, yeah. Slicing, carve something out, because I'm like, I know a -1 takes something out of stuff. So like, return, or like let extra equal array slice -1. Like, just take the last thing off and then turn everything that's left. Let's try that on for size. Whoops, it's called answer, not array. Okay, we're gonna find it out from Geeks for Geeks. So, how to remove last item in array JavaScript. Yes, go. Oh my god, Bob. At that moment when you're so deep in code, you forget the basics. That's right. Okay, let's see what's wrong now, though. Oh, parentheses means the function didn't run. Whoops. Okay. Apple, banana, cherry. Great. Okay, let's see why this one didn't work. Ooh, wow, okay. Cat, bird, dog. Cat. Alright, cat, bird, dog. That's the starting point. Cat, bird, dog. Okay. Dog, cat, bird. Dog, cat, bird. Oh, wait, so isn't that the same as what happened before though? Cat, bird, dog, cat. Did I have it 2 extra times? Oh wow, okay. Yeah, so something's definitely going on with if it does move stuff around. But like, okay, what I think I should do is have this, like, instead of us moving I, because that's obviously very confusing, let's set a j variable that like this while loop can deal with, and then keep I the same. So like actually, yeah, here, or it doesn't really matter really, but like let j equal I, and then all in here we're gonna, anyway, we can do this kind of manually, but like all in here we'll do j's. Yeah, very clever, very good, very nice. And then this one will be j decrementing, and then that way we don't need to like try to out Pizza the Hut here in terms of like figuring out where we are after the while loop is just going to put the thing in the right place, and then we're just going to keep on going with this I variable, and I think that's going to solve that whole too many times problem. Thank God. Okay. Oh no, the last executed test case. That's okay. Okay. So I guess if we get an empty array, we just want to return it. So let's do it this way. Oh God, okay. Oh, we should just return pairs. No. Inner list map, what in the heck? Okay. So we're not gonna do this. We're gonna do this for if the items are 0. We're gonna do this if the items are 1. Yeah, if it's 0, we'll return this empty array. And if it's 1, we'll return whatever we were given in an array. And for all the other cases, we'll do our very nice working other cases. What's going on here? Oh my God, are you kidding me? Okay. I have literally no idea what the problem here is. And we're gonna have to VS Code it to go ahead and run the diff here. So that I could just run like the character thing. Oops. There's not the Alt key. I'm gonna click here, and I want to click here. Did it let me? Maybe? Seriously? Okay, let's because that isn't working. Alright. So the first one is right, the second one is right. Expected output right to there, great, okay. And then here I start deferring. Oh, shoot, do they want us to do the thing in a certain order too? What the heck? So this is what we're given. I'm expecting for them to then look at the first two items. So they put the same array in there. And that's what I did too. So they did. Okay, now they're looking at the third item. 7. But 7 isn't less than 3, so I wonder why I did that. Seven should be in front of the 9. What in the heck? How did we pass our text cases and not these? Oh, they have a diff? You got me kidding me. That's helpful. Anyway, 7, then 6. Oh, wait, I think I'm still moving to the wrong place in the array. Because, like, okay, so we're given 3 and then 9, and then 7. So when we run on this 7, when we find out that this is less than this value, then we should swap them. Or insert this to wherever that one was. Jesus Lord. Alright. Geeks for geeks! How to insert something JavaScript list. Splice, okay. Alright, well, the purpose of this is to learn, not to torture ourselves, so one of the things we're going to do is take a little look-see at the solution to see where we went wrong. So, look how short this is. Is this a different language? No? Jeez, okay, I'm off somewhere. Okay, so let's see if we can step through this code. N is going to be our number of pairs. Result is going to be the results array. Great, okay. Yeah, so for let I equals whatever, then we have j equals I minus 1. Fantastic. Okay, move elements that are greater than key 1 position ahead from this while loop. So while j is bigger than or equal to 0, which we have similarly, or I guess we're comparing the item to the item ahead, they also do the full array starting at 0, okay. With j being equal to I minus 1 at 0, but j can't be -1 in this first one. I equals 0, this is -1. while j is bigger than or equal to 0. Okay, yeah, so it would skip this in the first round. Fantastic. But it would still push, whoa, the arguments function. I see. Okay, so they are not using this weird, janky, limping logger function. That makes sense. Dot, 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 pair, array of pairs. Okay. God, let's do that. So fancy. Jeez. All right. Answer dot push, and then dot, 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 or array dot, dot. That means whatever we have left of pairs. Elegant. Elegantsu. I don't know if anyone who might or might not be watching has ever seen Spy X Family, I think it's called. Oh my god, it's so cute. Highly recommend. Banana, apple, cherries. Excuse me. Apple, banana, cherry, banana, apple, cherry. Okay, did they put it in at the beginning? Like res stop push at the beginning? No? Res stop push action at the beginning? That's really interesting. Oh, because they set j to be I minus 1, but their while loop has when j is bigger than or equal to 0. At the beginning, they skip this while loop and push this in. Oh god, that is well done, Jesus. Alright, so while j is bigger than or equal to 0, and pairs j dot key is bigger than or equal to pairs j plus 1 dot key, so then they're also doing like, yeah, they're still looking at the item that we were looking at and the item before, like current and previous, the same way we are. Pairs j. Oh my gosh, wow, they do it in one step. Pairs j plus 1 equals pairs j plus 1 pairs j. Jesus, I didn't know you did that. Okay. And then, yeah, they also decrement j. Okay. So I say we take a break and then we come back and try to write this again. So if you are watching, remember, no worries overstressing your brain. I usually personally like to do 50 minutes on, 10 minutes off. So I'll see you in 10. Right, hello and welcome back to Developers Who Try Again. To recap, we took a look at insertion sort, then we took a look at the answer to insertion sort, then we took a look at some really nifty JavaScript that ran insertion sort, and we found out again about this whole args thing, where we can do ... args. That has a name. Oh, the arguments object. Fantastic. Okay. Yeah, so I imagine it's pretty much like putting everything from an array into another array. That's like an explanation of it. Yeah, so it's like put pairs at this state, at this time, at this moment in space and time into the answers array. So let's try to see if we can write it, because it's part of the fun, you know? I hope it keeps my submissions. Okay, great. All right. So yeah, let's try again. See if we can get ourselves somewhere this time. Okay, so we have insertion sort on pairs. Like let's let response or answers equals array if pairs length equals 1, then we return answer. Sorry, this could be if it's 0 lengths long, like if it's empty. Anyway, if it's not, let's do that for loop for that item. Or I think they did a length qualifier for some reason. I don't think we need to do that. For let I equals 0, I is less than pairs length, and we include I. Then we're gonna let j equals I minus 1. Then we're gonna, at the end of the function, return the answer. Here we're gonna have a while loop, but at the end of the for loop, we're gonna say answer dot push. Then the array of ... pairs. Okay, pairs at this point. Okay, so while, and then while j is bigger than or equal to 0, and there's another condition that I'm forgetting. But anyway, let's say if i's key is less than j's key, yeah, because I is going to be the higher value, so if the higher value, or like if the second one, let's say, is bigger than the first one, and that's the values I'm referring to. So if pairs of I dot key is bigger than pairs of j's key, then this was the really cool thing. I keep forgetting JavaScript can do this. I keep thinking only Python can do this, but I keep getting proven wrong, so happy to do that. But yeah, they just set the two equal to each other, so it's like pairs j pairs I equals pairs. This one doesn't need to be in brackets because we're just replacing it. Pairs I, pairs j. And then I actually think it's not I think it might be like j plus 1. Yeah, because that way j can move all around without it affecting I. So, like, yeah, let's do j plus 1 instead of I here. J plus 1, j plus 1. Yeah, because it's like while we, decrement stuff or whatever, we can just keep not caring about, like, affecting this loop, which was something we were definitely struggling to try to figure out on our own. Let's see what's wrong with this. How to fix it. No! I wonder if I need to have it as, like, an array instead of like this. I don't think so. I think I'm doing it wrong. Oh, snap. Maybe not. What's going on? 5, 2, 9, 2, 5, 9, 2, 9, 5, 2, 9. Okay. Alrighty. Is it that I am missing brackets? What the heck? Array? Oh, wait. So while this and pairs j dot key. Okay, I think this sign is backwards for me as well. But then pairs j plus 1. Yeah, equals pair j plus 1 pairs j. Okay, so in Python it's with the round brackets, and then in JavaScript it's only if you like do it through an array that you can like reverse stuff like this. But now let me try to sit and figure out this bit and like why they have it this way. So they essentially reversed their thing. So like, let's put it in the order they have it, first of all, and then figure out the shape or the direction of that thing. So we're gonna swap stuff while the thing at the higher value is greater than the thing at the lower value, I think. Let's see if that's right. So they say, while the thing at the lower value is bigger than the thing at the higher value. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Why did I put it this way? So, okay. In this case, this, for example, would be j, and this would be j plus 1. So, like, what if this were j, and this were j plus 1? That is saying that j plus 1's key is less than j's key. So then, when I had it the other way, okay, yeah. So when j plus 1's key is less than j's key. Okay, so now I'm seeing why, like, either I can keep the sign the way it is and swap the insides, or swap the sign and keep the outsides. Okay, yeah, I can't do both. Right, of course. So pairs j, aka the lower one, while this key is bigger than j plus 1 position, and the higher, okay, just make sure audio and visual are working, then yeah, and then we can swap things through arrays in JavaScript. This is the args function. Okay. Oh my god, you gotta be kidding me. One could say I'm ready to be done with this problem for today, but you know, patience is a virtue, I suppose. Dog, dog, cat. What's going on here? Where's that handy dandy diff mode that I saw earlier? So I can like look at this a bit better. Ah, here we go, okay. Cat, dog, bird. Cat, bird, dog, cat, bird, dog. Oh, don't tell me I'm doing it again, the same thing. Cat, dog, bird. 5, 2, 9. So 5, 2, 9. So we're given 2, 5, 9. 2, 5, 9. Okay, so 3 cat. Okay, 3 bird. Okay, 2 dog. 3 cat, 3 bird, 2 dog. 3 cat, 2 dog, 3 bird. Okay, so this item didn't move all the way down there like it should have. So what am I doing incorrectly? Let's find out. So for I equals 0, I is less than pairs dot length, and I the increment, j being I minus 1. So while j is bigger than or equal to 0, so the first time we just push in what we have, that is working correctly, then pairs j dot key. Oh wait, we didn't excuse me, negatively increment j to check the item below it when we did this. So yeah, every time we have to decrement j so that we actually like move the item to the right place, and then when we are done with that, then we push in our incremental place into the pairs array. Whew. Okay. God, yeah. All right. So that was the journey today. Took about an hour, 2 hours, an hour and a half. But hopefully, since we've written it this time, it'll never take that long again. All right. Thank you so much if you've joined in or are watching later. Remember, it's okay to struggle while we're learning things. So if you're learning something new, remember it's okay to try again. Practice makes progress.